Welcome back to the Bluechip Breakdown, Vols fans. I'm your host, Boyle, and in today's video, we'll be breaking down the film of our newest commitment in Sidney Walton. He's a 6'1.5", 187-pound safety from Moody, Alabama. I believe that he is originally from Michigan. He's a 3-star on 24/7 Sports and with On3. And as we're just kind of scrolling through, you can tell that he kind of, went unnoticed for the most part. I think that the staff did a really good job of identifying his talent early on. And I think that he's going to be a really good player for us. Definitely more of a safety body, okay? He was told that he could be a defensive back, which means that he could play really anything in that secondary. I think that he can, but his upside for me is most definitely at safety. So as we're going through his film, just keep that in mind. Just envision him playing at the safety position, but I'm very excited to get into this one. I think he's got a really big upside because he's got a 6'5" wingspan, which gives him really long arms. And he's only about, 6'1.5", almost 6'2" at this point. Also very young for his class. He could have been a 2026 kid. He could end up growing a lot. So that's why I'm saying focus on him at safety. But let's go ahead and jump into the film. All right, so first play right here. We've got him highlighted. And what we're seeing, okay, I'm gonna go back just a taste. Now, I want for you to pay very close attention to, number one, the leverage that he has. Okay, he's got really good size and all that. He's playing at cornerback right here, so we're kind of seeing his versatility, but he's got inside leverage. So what I really want to highlight right here is boom. Okay, so he does let the wide receiver get to the inside of him, but he's still able to make that play on the high school level. These are the types of things that I'm saying. Make sure that you're, envisioning him playing safety, because his technique, his fundamentals are not always the best. We're really just looking to see what type of an athlete he is. So on this play, it looks like he's in cover 3 up at the top of the screen right here. And he comes over and he's willing to get in on the physicality of the game. That's what you need playing safety. Now, on this one, we'll go back just to taste. All right, because I want to start this one over. I want for you to pay attention to how he looks whenever he's in off coverage. Right here, okay, he's playing off coverage. Again, it's inside leverage, playing about, 7 to 8 yards off. This is about what he will be playing at if he's playing safety, but he is on the outside, so he's playing man in this clip. Let's just watch the way that he looks just playing safety, okay? I don't know if that was cover 3. I don't know if that was man, because he, kind of looked like it could have been man, but he turns back to the quarterback, which would be zone coverage. Again, there's some things that he's going to have to get cleaned up just from a fundamental perspective, but that's nothing to be down on a player about coming out of high school. If anything, that may make them a little bit more attractive, because what that means is they've got a blank canvas. This is a very raw athlete. You can tell that he's got good speed getting out on kickoff. And again, you're seeing that physicality. And, you just love the way that he looked on the previous play as well. I don't think I got to finish kind of explaining that, but he looks really good just as far as his natural, God-given gifts. He's got really good feet. He's got really long arms. His hips turn and flip very easily. And he also does a good job getting in and out of his breaks. So let's see what he does right here. See, like, that's a really good job, right? Okay, so he maintains that inside leverage. He gets his hands on the right here. Okay, you can see him. He gets his hands on the wide receiver. Boom. And, he does kind of let the wide receiver get on top of him. But again, that just goes to show that it's not a lot of next level training for him. Okay, so I just want to make sure that I'm pointing that out to y'all so that we're all on the same page with it. Okay, now for this play, let's see where he ends. Okay, so this is him right here. Really good closing speed, and that's a good job making the tackle. Looks like he forces a fumble as well. And here, okay, bump and run. Now that looks really good. Okay, so on this play, let's see it again. Boom, he's up at the line of scrimmage. Okay, this is press coverage because he's up at the line. He's gonna, again, he has inside leverage, but he does a really good job of getting his hands on the wide receiver. And this looks a little bit better than the last rep did. Okay, the receiver still gets to the inside of him, but you see how long his arms are and what he's able to back that football down. So again, whenever you're thinking about a player like this, maybe playing safety, but he's got some cornerback skills to him as well, you're seeing a lot of versatility and a lot of things that a college coach is gonna love. You can use him in some different positions, and it's going to be very helpful for this team. Now, right here, he's just kind of fighting off of a block. Boom, you can see where he is. Okay, maintains that outside leverage and just slings the kid to the ground. Very strong. He's a big, he's a bigger guy, right? But he's also very strong. Now, on this one, he's up at the line of scrimmage again. All right, this is press coverage. And he's got good, strong inside leverage, but he gets beat off of the line of scrimmage. So, again, these are just fundamental things that he can fix. It's not that he's not fast enough. It's just that, from a technical perspective, he's not as well versed in how to play the cornerback position, but he can do it. I can tell you that right now. Look at that. Boom. He's got great hops. You can tell he's a really good athlete. That's not in question by any means. Here you love, again, he's very physical. I mean, watch him with the boom. very strong, very physical, and it does a good job breaking up on that pass. So, again, he can do it. Now, here, okay, this is what I really want to focus a lot more on because I like to see him in off coverage. This is where I think he's going to end up playing at in college. Watch him go to work right here. Maintains his inside leverage. Boom. Look at how quick he's able to break. That burst and that pop, that one, boom, that quick little burst in and out of his break. This is what we like to see. And this is why he can be very, very special playing safety. Boom. That's quick. I mean, there's no wasted motion, and he covers a lot of ground out of that break. So I love to see that. Now on this play, he is playing corner again. He's, coming off from up top where he saw where he's at. Now he's coming up to make this tackle. Boom. Again, very physical. Doesn't go straight to his knees. It's something that you'll notice with some high school players, especially secondary guys. They'll try to make these tackles and go straight down to their knees. But here what we're seeing is he's not doing that, right? He's still up off of the ground, okay? His head is up, and he's able to finish this tackle clean. So this is what you need from your safeties because they play inside the box, and it's a very physical position to play. Here, playing some more bump and run, does a really good job right there. I will say that he probably would have been beat to the inside, but the route does come back to the outside. So he does a great job just sticking with it, and you can tell that he's got really good speed. I also like his strides. He's got those shorter, quicker strides, which means he's going to be able to change directions very, very easily. Now on this one, we're seeing, boom, okay, coming up, boom, right there, physicality. Very physical, and he gets in on that tackle as well. All right, here, off technique, and does a really nice job right there. Okay, so that one looks really good. Again, every time we see him playing off coverage, he looks a lot more natural. That's his home. This is where he should be. And again, I do feel like he can play that press coverage once he just gets taught how to do it. But that's beautiful. I mean, that was textbook, stand on top of the route. That is as good as it gets. All right, and on this one, we got him playing a little special teams, and he's blocking right here, but just look at how physical he is. I mean, he does manhandle these kids, so you love to see that. Again, it's amazing how well he plays whenever he's more natural or whenever he kind of has been trained on how to do something. Right here, again, playing off, which honestly speaking, y'all, off coverage is probably even more difficult to play than bump and run is, especially for better athletes. And the simple fact that he looks this good in off coverage, I mean, that's perfect. That's perfect technique. That's perfect fundamentals. Very, very natural there. So I love to see that. Now, again, on special teams, which, for most of these guys coming in as freshmen, they're going to have to play on special teams, especially skilled guys on defense. And you see the willingness to make plays on special teams. You got to love that. Boom. Okay, again, dogging folks, right? I mean, he's just very strong at the point of contact. All right, and on this play, it looks like his leverage is a little bit more to the outside. So for those of y'all that may not know what I'm talking about, let me just try to explain it to you. Let me let that go by. Okay, so the leverage is just where he's lined up on this wide receiver. So this would be inside leverage because it's inside of the wide receiver. This would be outside because it's outside of him. And it looks like he's a little bit more head up right here, okay, with a little bit of an outside shade. So I was just pointing that out for y'all, okay, so that y'all would, know what I'm talking about right here. But so anyway, looks a lot better up at the line of scrimmage now. I think that this may have been a little bit later on in the season. We could tell that he's starting to pick up on the fundamentals and the techniques, so it looks a lot better there. Here, really nice job just kind of staying around that line of scrimmage. This is something that he'll be doing a lot if he's playing safety for us, playing inside of the box, making overfield tackles. He looks good doing it. Almost kind of looks like a linebacker on the high school level. That's what you would expect from your safeties. Need to be able to kind of, be that linebacker, but also be able to play in coverage. Looks a lot better here too. Okay, now let's just kind of go back because this starts off really nice. At the same time though, watch this. Let's let it go. Boom. Okay, so starting off pretty good. What he's got to do is he's got to learn how to just get back on top of this route. That's something that will be taught. So whenever we're seeing him getting beat deep, just know that it's something that is very easily fixable. And he does a good job breaking up on that football right there at the end. All right, so right here, we've got him playing in the box, okay? Playing at safety. And right here, I love his angle. After getting off that block, he's going to attack the outside shoulder of the running back. He's going to where the running back is going and not where the running back is. So again, we're just seeing this almost in real time, right? As he's getting more acclimated to this system here where you can tell that he's getting some better coaching and it really shows. Let's go back to this play. Okay, so again, up at the line of scrimmage, I love how physical he is too. A lot of the players, we talk about it all the time, right? Players not being physical at the line of scrimmage on defense, okay? Especially on the outside. We hate to see that, but he does not have that problem. That is actually pretty good. It's not, it's not like the other reps that we saw earlier in this clip. So You're seeing that he's also coachable. I think that that's a really big deal for any player that we get, but especially in the secondary, especially for somebody that, may be a little bit new to learning the fundamentals of playing in the secondary. Now, right here, he's playing off coverage. Let's see how it looks. Oh man, that's pretty. That's beautiful. That's exactly what you want to see. That's textbook. So this is wide receiver right here kind of breaks down. You're seeing that Sidney is breaking down as well. So love to see that. Again, very, very coachable, great fundamentals. And he came a long way from the start of this film to this part of the film. Right here, we got him back up at the line of scrimmage, and he's on an island. Okay, you can see how much of a dog he is fighting through this block, right? Boom. I'm gonna make sure I stay in coverage first, but then as soon as I need to get off, I can get off right here, right now, and make a good flush tackle. So let's go ahead and get into Sidney's grades. All right, so let's start off with his athleticism grade. Keep in mind his size, 6'2", about 190 pounds. That is about prototype for a secondary player in the SEC, and it's pretty close to what the size is in the NFL. So that's a pretty big deal. Also, you're seeing that at the line of scrimmage, he has really good footwork, gets in and out of his breaks well, has really good hips. You can see that he can jump well. He has good straight line speed. We can go back to that kickoff play where he's beating everyone down the field. So very impressed with his athleticism as a whole. I'm gonna give him 5 stars in this category. Now for toughness and physicality, we're seeing that he does a great job of getting off blocks, especially with that proper leverage. You love to see that. And he comes up and he makes good fundamental tackles. Looks like he likes to thump people as well. This is exactly what you want with your secondary players, especially inside of that box. I'm going to give him 5 stars in this category as well. Now for his man coverage. So didn't start off great in this film. Start off a little bit rocky, but you could tell that he was learning as time went on. So that's always a really big deal. Can a player be coachable? Can you teach him the proper fundamentals and technique to go along with, what his ceiling already is, okay? So he comes in with a good floor, I think, for Tennessee, just because he's a really good athlete. He's really long. Going to be great in man-to-man coverage, whether he's playing at corner or at star or at safety. I think he can do it all. Really impressed with it, but he still kind of has a ways to go from a technical perspective. So I'm gonna give him 4 stars in this category. And finally, for his zone coverage grade. Now, we don't get to see a whole lot of zone in this film. I don't believe it's a couple of plays where I don't know if he's supposed to be in man or if he's in zone. That kind of goes back to the technical aspect that he's going to have to continue to improve on, and I think that he will. But for the most part, he's staying on top of the routes. And if it's a shorter coverage, it looks like he does a really good job of just kind of holding on to his man. And not like Georgia does it, but, just kind of being in the right spot. So you love to see that. I think that he's going to be really good in zone. This might actually fit his skill set a little bit better once he gets to college. But that's, what you would expect if he's going to be playing safety. So I'm going to give him 4 stars in this category. All right, so let's recap. We gave Sidney 5 stars on toughness and physicality, 5 stars as an athlete, 4 stars in man coverage, and 4 stars in zone coverage, which brings his blue chip overall grade to 4 stars. And he's exactly what you would want in a secondary player. Now, our staff has done a phenomenal job of going out and getting these guys that are taller, that are longer. Like we talked about to start this video off, he's about 6'2", but he's already got a 6'5" wingspan. Typically, men have the same wingspan as their height, or it's a little bit closer to it. So with him being a younger player in the class of 2025, he actually should be in the class of 2026. It means that he probably has some good room to grow a little bit taller. So where he's, close to 6'2" at this point, we could expect that maybe he gets up to about 6'3", or, even taller, and he will probably be able to maintain the skill set that we already see with him, which would automatically make him like a 1st-round draft pick, okay? Especially inside of our system. Not to mention his frame, it's very, very wiry, which means that he can gain, I would say, at least 20 solid pounds of muscle, which more than likely he will, in his first year on campus, and get up to, somewhere around 6'3", 215 pounds. Again, that is prototype size for a SEC safety or for an NFL safety. So he's a guy that for sure his upside is really, really high. And I don't know how he flew up under the radar so long, but yeah, this is a big time pickup for our Volunteers. And I'm very excited to see what he does once he gets on campus. But that's going to be it for this video. Thank y'all so much for sticking all the way to the end. Please make sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, share with your friends, family, and other Volunteer fans. And we'll see you on the next one. Thanks. Peace.